Good evening, everyone, and thank you for once again joining us for our bi-weekly live stream and Dharma talk and guided meditation. It's so wonderful to see you all here this evening. Perhaps it's this afternoon, wherever you are. Maybe even it's this morning. So again, welcome and thank you. Today's April 3rd, 2023. We are coming live from the Blue Lotus Meditation and Mindfulness Center here in Brainerd, Minnesota. So tonight's topic that we'll explore a little bit, kind of an interesting topic, one that people may not often consider, is that using the Dharma as a career guide, what to do, how to make those important decisions. What made me kind of want to explore this a little bit more, not only do us as adults often change careers, maybe we no longer find joy or satisfaction in whatever career it is, but it's almost graduation time for a lot of our high school students. And so they may be wondering, where do I go from here? What is the world going to provide me or give me in different activities or circumstances? So how am I going to do my best? So very often there's a lot of uncertainty for our youngsters and our older teens as they approach this significant change in their lives. So using using the Dharma as a career guide. And so it's kind of going to lead us to our guided meditation this evening, which is along those lines. It's certainly a theme that goes along with these really wonderful changes that many of us are going to, at some point in time, experience, and that all things change, because they do. Nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent, just like the Buddha has skillfully and kindly and compassionately brought forth to us. Let us know nothing is forever. So go ahead and get yourself situated into your nice, comfortable meditation position. Maybe you like to sit up, or maybe you like to lay down, whatever works best for you. It's absolutely wonderful. That's your position. So go ahead, let's take a moment just to settle your body into that comfortable position. Maybe beginning to notice your breath, your in and out breath. You may close your eyes or keep them slightly open with a soft focus. Just looking a few feet in front of you if you choose, if you're sitting up. Breathe in. Pause. And slowly exhale. Very nice. Good. And while you sit there, you are absolutely warmly invited to just allow that half smile to rest upon your face as well. Meditation is a time for us to rebalance and center ourselves. And soften your belly as you continue settling in. Breathe in. Pause. And slowly exhale. And let's meditate on just accepting impermanence in our lives. And breathing gently and slowly in and out through your nose. Allow your energy to settle by spending some time just watching your breath. Let yourself be fully present with each slow, full breath in and each slow, full breath out. So breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. Excuse me. Pardon me. Now think back to the earliest months of your life when you were only a baby. And go back as far as you'd like to. And recall how different your body was then. How tiny you were. How fragile you were. And how little you understood the world. There was a time when you could just barely recognize colors and shapes. A time when you could not feed yourself. A time when you could not stand or walk. And a time when you didn't even know how to read or write. And then as you grew and you began to make sense of the world, recall the things you once believed that are no longer true. Perhaps you believed in fictional cartoon characters. Or you had a particularly childlike view of the world. But then it changed. There's very little of your body and your mind that's the same today as it was back then. And yet, you are still you. Reflect back on the course of your life through later childhood and your early teenage years. Recall the physical changes that you've gone through. Recall how much you've learned. And recall the changes to your worldview. So much has changed in your body. So much has changed in your mind. And yet, you're still you. So let's return to breath awareness now. And just notice the continual movement of your breath for these next few moments. This constant flow. This constant exchange between breathing in and breathing out. Notice what's changing right here and right now. And bringing awareness to your breath is a wonderful way and a wonderful place to start. And there's never one single moment in which the breath remains the same. In fact, if you weren't breathing, you would be in a little bit of trouble. The inhale breath doesn't arrive towards the end and lament about the oncoming exhale. Whereas the exhale doesn't begin to empty and worry over the incoming breath. We let the inhale go. We let the exhale finish. And we trust that this cycle of change will continue, giving us life. Contemplate the possibility that as change occurs in the breath, change is occurring right now in your body. Change is occurring right now in your mind. And it's possible that these changes, these incoming changes, will give you life, will give you peace, and will give you ease. Contemplate that there's a possibility that your worldview could shift. It could shift slowly over time. Perhaps it could shift in an instant. Be open to this change. Being aware that this change is full of potential. Go ahead and remain watching your breath for these next few moments as well. And then for as long as you'd like, while resting in the awareness that neither you, your body, or your mind are static, unchanging, or still. And that is a good thing. Very nice. Wonderful. Very nice. Change happens. Right? That's one of the fundamental principles and ideas of mindfulness. Right? Everything is impermanent. So that change is inevitable. Again, like maybe some of our graduating seniors from high school, they're about to face a very big change. The structural changes of attending high school, listening to the bells, telling them when to change classes, go to lunch, go home, what have you. Or maybe you're a working adult and you're going to have a change. Maybe you don't find the satisfaction in your career any longer, and you need to find that fulfillment. And that can be kind of scary at the same time. Maybe you've been at your job for such a long time. So that change there can be some apprehension. So, but what does the Buddha or even the Dharma say about your career, about career changes or careers in general? And so he does have stuff to say, right? He's got some wonderful insight, right, on how to bring awareness to how we are going to walk down our Noble Eightfold Path. And he starts off with just the Four Noble Truths, right? The very foundations, the Four Noble Truths. There is suffering in this world, and that all beings suffer. And then the second noble truth, right? Attachments are the cause of suffering. And then the third noble truth, right? There is a way to end suffering. And then the fourth noble truth, right? The Noble Eightfold Path, right? So there are 8 distinguishable conditions or activities or mindsets, considerations for that Eightfold Path. One of them being right livelihood. So what does right livelihood mean? Right? Is it just making money? Is it just greed? Is it self-gratification? Is it stepping on others? Absolutely not. Because right livelihood ties in very intimately to the 5 precepts, which we've talked about before as well. We've talked about all of these before, my friends. But the 5 precepts, and just to kind of talk about them briefly, right? So we want to We have to make sure that with those 5 precepts, when we adhere to them, that, we're not increasing the suffering for ourselves or others in that career, right? Something that we don't do is either serve or manufacture alcoholic beverages. That certainly increases suffering. Doesn't involve gambling. That certainly increases suffering as well. The making or the selling or killing, anything that involves weapons, right? Certainly wars and conflict and all that violence certainly causes suffering, results in suffering for people who may not even be involved in a conflict. We avoid sexual gratification jobs, right? Or sexual misconduct, right? So human trafficking, for example. It's also important to understand or bring to the awareness systemic economic inequality and large-scale eco-destruction, right? Through excessive pursuits of profit. So we want to make sure that we follow those 5 precepts in any career that we choose. Certainly we all need to have an income, right? Why do we have jobs, right? It's not only to support ourselves, but perhaps our family members. But we have to be good stewards of humanity when we choose a career. So what are some good examples? This is by far not an exclusive list, but just some really nice examples that I kind of thought of. Maybe give you some guidance or some suggestions, but certainly you're free to choose what you like. We're not here to tell you what to do. But a really good example I think really came to mind first was a caretaker. Think about that. Maybe there's somebody in a hospital or in hospice, or a nursing home, an elderly person, or maybe extremely sick, can't take care of themselves. And so you come in. That is just such an honorable and a noble position. Caring for another human being who cannot care for themselves. That could include elderly parents. It could include younger siblings. Anybody who cannot take care of themselves. If you're providing that care for them, that is very loving and compassionate of you. That is certainly not increasing the suffering in this world. In fact, it's bringing a lot of joy and ease to others as well. Artist, I thought, was another one. Whether you're a potter or a painter or some type of sculptor, people enjoy looking at art. Art is very important for people to understand civilization and what others think about and our relationship to other living beings. It's very often expressed in art. And so when we look at someone's artwork, we're making a connection with that artist, and that artist is making a connection with us. Again, whether it's pottery or a painting, the painting that you see up here, my daughter made that. So I see that. And so I share that with you. Every other week, you see her painting. Or perhaps you're a writer. Maybe you write short stories or poems. Right? People enjoy poetry, even the ones who say they don't. I have a suspicion that they kind of do. developing those skills of communication. Communication is a way that we connect with others as well. Skilled trades, absolutely vital for any society, right? A carpenter, auto repair, auto mechanic, right? An electrician or plumbing, right? People live in homes. Somebody has to build them. People's automobiles break down from time to time. Someone has to repair them because someone has to go to work. So that's really helping others out as well. Electrician. If you're watching me right now, the device you're on is running off of electricity, whether it's plugged in or off of a battery. Plumbing, right? Plumber. The careers that provide so much and that are very often overlooked in our society. Very caring jobs. Cleaning, right? Maybe that caretaker, while they are busy, or occupied taking care of someone, maybe they need help too, helping keep their home clean. So professional cleaning, absolutely. And as well as, there are plenty of professional careers as well. Accountant, a chef, lawyers, doctors, nurses and teachers. All those careers are very nurturing to society, right? They are serving you as well as you are serving others in a different capacity, but still one that is needed. Society can be very complex, right? For lawyers, right? People enjoy going out to eat with their families and friends. Someone has to cook that food. In fact, being a chef is just like another artist. Wow. A culinary artist, right? Whether it's entrees or pastries, baking, whatever it is, right? Those are all wonderful, wonderful careers. And nursing and teaching, taking care of the injured or the ill, teaching youngsters how to read and write and do mathematics. It's very important. So you're giving back and you're also receiving. So what's important as you make those decisions, those upcoming decisions or career choices, what are some considerations that you may want to take? Again, those careers that I listed previously, just off, just a few little bullet points for consideration, just from examples, but there's hundreds of thousands of jobs out there that certainly align with the 5 precepts and the right livelihood aspect of the Noble Eightfold Path. But so some considerations, the purpose of a career, right? Remember, it's for you to earn a living while benefiting society as well as your family and yourself. Right? Remember, we're all connected. Right? No one is truly left alone. We're all connected. So the service, the career that you choose helps others. It's for the benefit of the society that we live in. So right livelihood. And while we make those career choices, we also have to be mindful of the other aspects of that Eightfold Path. Right? When we choose a career, right mindfulness, right? We're not just doing the job autonomously, right? On autopilot. Autopilot is not very mindful, right? Kind of just going through the repetition. But maybe you work in some type of a factory or a plant, and you have to assemble some pieces together. be mindful of what you're doing. Could be some sharp moving parts that could cause you injury. But don't get consumed with your work as well. Remember, you're not your career. You're not your career. You are still a living being. With complex emotions and hopes and dreams and goals and aspirations as well. So when you make a choice for your occupation, right livelihood is very important. And it is, remember, it's okay to remember too that, it's acceptable and it is often very healthy to change careers if you're no longer having satisfaction with that job that you are currently doing. Maybe you don't like going into a law office every day. Maybe you don't find it rewarding like you first did. And therefore your mindfulness won't be where it needs to be as you try to help somebody who may need your services. So it's okay and it's healthy for our own development as well, because we have to also ease our own suffering. And if we are not enjoying our careers, we are causing our own suffering, right? We're increasing our own suffering, but that could spill over into someone else too and cause them suffering. So something to be mindful of when you are just making that consideration. But no one can tell you what job to do. I cannot say, and no one else should say, you should be an airline pilot. You should be a baker. You should be a sales clerk, whatever. Right? Those are up to you. That's the beauty of mindfulness. That's the beauty of the Dharma. That's the beauty of the Eightfold Path. The decisions are yours. We just offer guidance, maybe some suggestions, right, on right mindfulness, right livelihood, right action, and so forth. But those ultimate decisions on how to express and live nobly and warmly and wholesomely with the 5 precepts and the Noble Eightfold Path. It's up to you. So thank you, my friends, for just sitting here with me again this wonderful Monday evening. Our next Dharma talk will be on the 17th, right, on April 17th. We will be talking about the Dharma and terminal illness, right? Something that we're all going to face at some point in time, maybe some a little bit sooner. Unfortunately, that happens. And please join us for our weekly Sanghas too. Healing Sangha, Veteran Sangha, Welcoming Sangha, New Beginnings, and Teen Sangha. All of our registration links are on our website, and everything, again, is always free. No charge. Right? That's how we share. That's how we grow. That's how we practice mindfulness and develop community and loving kindness through all of us. For all of us. In our upcoming Cambodian retreat, final month for registration is coming up at the end of the month. So if you haven't, if it's something that you're considering, go ahead and consider. Right? And again, if you do find our bi-weekly talks uplifting and nurturing, or other resources uplifting and nurturing as well, please do consider to like and subscribe. Lets us know that we're doing a good job. And thank you for coming, my dear friends. And until next week or 2 weeks on the 17th, I wish you all an evening of peace, ease, and well-being.